Hey everybody, hope everyone's doing well and had a good day. This video is going to be a brief recap of the Emini 5-minute chart for Monday, March 17th, 2025. The purpose of these recaps, I really just want to help everyone better understand how to read and trade price action with a focus on breakouts and second legs. So we'll get right into it today. Big bull breakout on the open. What's the problem with this bull micro channel 1 through 3? Well, if we look at the Globex chart, it's good to have an idea what the market is doing going into the day. So every morning I'll just glance at the Globex chart. And we can see here's that bull micro channel on the 15-minute chart, so it's just one bar. What leg is that? It might be 1, 2, 3 legs up. And this is something I was thinking about this morning. Is this leg 3? Is it leg 2? Is it leg 1? I think it really all depends on how you look at it. We had this rally, we can call it a small pullback trend, but then we had a trend line break. And after that trend line break, maybe the count gets reset here. Maybe there's a new leg 1, pullback, leg 2. But with that logic, here's a bull breakout, here's a trend line break, here's another leg 1 reset. So I still have thinking to do with that to figure out more rigid or better guidelines for when to reset the leg count. But for me, I decided this rally on the open was leg 3 because of what we had here on the Globex chart. We have a bull channel. So that was the problem with the rally on the open for me. 3 legs up might get a deeper pullback, and we entered a very tight trading range. And in here, I think in general, better to wait for something more clear. You can trade in here. You still get breakout, pullback, second leg. The bears, bar 4, bear breakout probably will get a second leg. We get a deep pullback above the high of the bar, so deeper than 100% or 1R, and then they still got a second leg. This rally gets a 2-legged complex pullback, still gets a second leg. Is this enough for the bulls? Leg 1, pullback, leg 2? I don't know. I think the bulls will get something better than this. You typically get more symmetrical second legs, and this is not a symmetrical second leg. 8 and 9 is not similar in size to 1 through 3. So I'm not sure if the bulls have done enough here. Still probably buyers below. And look at this channel. There's a lot of overlap, and the buying pressure is fairly strong. The bulls were getting pairs of bull bars all the way down, bull bars closing on or near their highs, bulls buying below swing lows, making money, buy below here, you made money, buy below here, made money, buy below. It's a stairs pattern. And the bears are just getting, later and later legs. So here, bar, let's say down to bar 14. Bear breakout might be leg 3. It might be an expanding triangle. Bulls try to reverse. Big reversal bar, but weak follow through, testing a breakout point. Bears will probably get a second leg. And then we get a second leg down to 20. But this sell-off might have been strong enough for its own second leg. And this is tricky because it looks like it might be leg 3. So I know what you're thinking. 1, 2, 3 legs down. Wedge bottom, you expect at least 2 legs sideways up, and this rally 20 through 22 was fairly strong. I thought the odds were there would be buyers below and a second leg up, but 24 was surprisingly strong. And because of that, traders may look to buy lower. So bears look to sell, 24 strong enough for a second leg, so bears look to sell, and bulls, maybe they step aside. They're thinking I don't want to buy here if I think we're going lower, and we vacuum down to some resistance level. Looks like we came close to the open of bar 1, which is the open of the day and the open of the week. And then down to bar 25, a climactic late leg, might be leg 4. So again, we can see the bear channel line. Bears trying to break below a channel after a rally on the open. So, just look at the price action and ignore Friday's bars. Just look at today. Bars 1 through 3. Basically, the first 3 bars for the day made up the majority of the day's range for the first half of the day. And after that, the next couple of hours were sideways to down. And on the way down, bulls were making money all the way down. Even if you bought some of the worst places, if you bought the close of 9 and bought more below 8, you could have exited your trade at break even. Same here, buy the close 15, buy more 14 low, you could exit the trade at break even. But over here on the open, no bear was making money on bars 1 through 3. So the rally was much stronger than the sell-off. To me, this looks like a bear channel. Bear channels are bull flags, so this might simply be a bull breakout followed by a prolonged pullback, and maybe the bulls will get a second leg. This actually reminds me of a day. Let me see if I can pull it up. I tried looking for that chart, but it really wasn't the example I thought it would be, so disregard that. So anyway, the bears have a late leg. We have buying pressure on the way down, and bears really not able to keep gaps, or at least strong gaps, open. And the rally on the open will still probably get a second leg. And then we got 27 through 29, 3-bar bull micro channel. It's a reversal, strong enough breakout, it'll probably get a second leg. You're expecting 10 bars and 2 legs, sideways to up after 3 or 4 legs down, especially after a rally. This is a better wedge than just simply a wedge bottom and a bear trend, because you have this wedge 3 or 4 legs down after a rally. So again, you can look at this as a bull flag. So instead of trying to pick a bottom, it's really almost like the expectation is buyers somewhere below and second leg up still. So rally, pullback, but lots of buying pressure on the way down, bulls making money, and you're still expecting a more symmetrical second leg up. So rally to 29, second leg likely, 31 through 33, strong enough breakout, probably second leg up, but now we have 2 legs up to the top of a channel or a trading range, so there might be sellers up here. Then we got 33 through 36, 4-bar bear micro channel, strong enough bear breakout, probably sellers above and a second leg down. And the bears got that. We got a pullback and a brief second leg. But here, what do the bulls have? This rally up to 33 is tight enough, even though we have a pullback here on the 5-minute chart. There's actually no pullback on the 15-minute chart. There's a lot of overlap. The low of bar 31 came close to the low of the prior bar on the 15-minute. That would have been the bar 28 low. But in this case, on the 15-minute chart, it's a breakout. No technical pullbacks. So yes, overlap, but tight bull channel here, strong enough for a second leg. We get a complex 2-legged pullback, and then an attempt at trend resumption. So 40, 41, bull reversal and follow through, strong enough breakout to expect buyers below and a second leg up. It's also a triangle, so we're in breakout mode at this point. You can see the range contracting, meaning we have lower highs and higher lows. This is a contracting triangle, which just means it's breakout mode. And at some point, one side is going to give up. You also have to remember 50% of the time, the first breakout of a triangle fails. So 45, we had a breakout attempt of the triangle. So bar 45 breaks out above the bear trend line. I'm going to extend this to the right just to show something. So the market's in a triangle, lower highs, higher lows. We know it's breakout mode. We also know there might be a slightly higher probability for the bulls because of the breakout before the triangle. This might be a bull flag. But let's look what happened here. 45 breaks above the bear trend line. Does not get follow through. But what about the reversal attempt? Look what bar 47 did. We broke above the trend line, which has been resistance. If you sold at this line, you would have made money earlier in the day. But if you sold here, 45 trapped you. You're trapped into a losing position if you sold. And what happened on the retest? It was actually a two-legged retest. 1, 2, and 47, 46, and 47 tested the bear trend line, and then traders gave up. 47 bull breakout and follow through 48. This breakout 47 through 49, 50, very strong, very high probability of getting a second leg up. No reason to sell through here. If anything, you're flat or you're long. When the probability is high, like it was here, there's a lot going for this breakout. I talked about Ali's 10+2 factors. Again, I'll make a video on that. I'm working on that. But until then, again, I'll try to remember to link that interview in the description of this video. But the 10+2 factors are a quantitative way to assign probabilities, to estimate probabilities of breakouts. And if you use the 10+2 factors on the bull breakout, the micro channel 47 through 51, you get a really high score, probably 80 or 90%. And when that's the case, you know the odds are high that you're going to get a second leg. And traders are in agreement. Bulls and bears are expecting higher prices. The bears don't want to sell against this. They know the market's going higher. They'd rather wait for a more complex top or at least a trendline break and then maybe a retest to sell. Bulls don't want to sell either. They're expecting some kind of measured move up. So why take profits here when we're probably going higher? In that dynamic, there's so much demand by traders to buy. That's why we get such a brief and shallow pullback, 52, before getting a second leg up. And this was a micro channel all the way to bar 58. So leg 1, pullback, leg 2 to 58, pullback, and now we're in leg 3, leg 4 territory up here. So far above the moving average, 1, 2, 3. Better to just get out below a bear bar, closing near its low, 66. Reasonable to exit below. And then this became a bit of an endless pullback, 66 through 70. Actually a strong enough bear breakout, probably sellers above and second leg down. And it took a while, but the bears eventually did get their second leg after this small trading range here. And maybe profit taking at the end of the day after this big rally. Bears probably will get a second leg, and bulls and bears agree. Bulls taking profits, bears selling to capture that second leg. We get a bit of a sell vacuum at the end of the day. This was enough for a second leg as well, but at this point it's big up, big down, big confusion. Might be in the middle of the range here, and traders would prefer to sell high and buy low. So we might go sideways here. All right, that's going to do it for today's review. Thanks everybody for watching, and I hope everyone has a good night.